Welcome, dear viewers, to Couch Warrior TV on YouTube. This is episode 11 of our Caranthir Tower walkthrough. Again, this is Zatu. He has changed clothes. He's dressed for the weather. We are going to be going outside the tower eventually here, but we need to be prepared. But we've got a lot of work to do here, so let's get started. What I did is I took an opportunity while making episodes, 7, 8, 9, and 10. While I was putting those episodes together and getting them ready for publishing, I took an opportunity to kind of nose around a little bit, test some things out, do some discovery off camera that I could share with you in a more efficient way. And we have, I think, some really fun and interesting treats in store here the next couple episodes. As we get to the end here, basically, most of the crafting has been completed, and with the completion of that crafting, we are left really to try and find a lot of the Easter eggs and the interesting things that this game has for us. So it's Ayleid coins, it's collectibles, it's journals, it's more Welkind stones, snow globes, things of that nature, plus a little bit of exploration of our spell creation capabilities and how some of these tools that we have at our disposal work. And so Zatu is all bundled up because we are going to go outside and look around a little bit. We haven't really spent a lot of time outside since first constructing this thing. We went out in the last episode and found ourselves a place to cut some firewood, which was convenient. But there's more exploration to do out there, as I discovered poking around last evening. So to start with, before we go out there, I'm going to go to the lobby and we're going to experiment a little bit with spell creation. All right, here we are in the lobby. Now, one of the things I want to do eventually is get us some trophies too, but we kind of have to look through some of the ingredients required here. It'd be cool to have some Draugr and Dwemer trophies, so eventually I'd like to pursue some of that, although that's probably lower on the priority list for us right now. Let's do a quick review of where we're at currently, okay? So 5 snow globes. Let's look and see. Let's make sure I don't have any here that I haven't dropped in yet. Yeah, so we've got a few more to find. So that's high on our priority list. But first, I want to take a look at this because we're going to use the Altar of Magic, and we are going to create 2 spell books. We are going to create the Conceal and Reveal spell books. And, you know, the ingredients required to create these spell books are easily obtained. Rolls of paper, leather, inkwells, common soul gems, and glow dust. So it's not too hard to find these items in world and actually create these. These 2 are particularly interesting because they are, spells specific to the tower, spells of Dark Fox's creation. So we're going to go ahead and make these. Okay, so that creates some spell books which are added to our inventory, and we are going to take a look at those. All right. And then while we're here, let's just take a look at our progression so far. All right. So we have 2 globes yet to find, and my understanding is that the secret globe, that cannot even kick off until we have found these last 2 remaining globes. So a big priority for us is going to be finding the Ice Wraith globe and the Spriggan Matron globe. Big priority, of course, is finding more Ayleid coins. And then, we've got some unique items, some memoirs and stuff like that. If if we take a look at our inventory real quick at our books, we are missing volume 1 of Wellkind Stones. We definitely want to find that for sure. I think that, that could be a fairly important read. So we need to find that. That could be a tricky search just because I'm not exactly sure at all where to look for that. I haven't run across it. I don't remember running across it in our search so far. So anyway, couple points of interest since we are in the lobby. For those of you who are planning on using this mod, interesting point. What I discovered here, and this is because I finally looked some stuff up. It was in the manual. There's an entry there that some of the crafting stations actually, when you use them, give you a buff on your enchanting abilities or your alchemy abilities, things like that. So it's kind of a proximity effect. So when you're within a certain distance from the station itself, you are granted this ability. And that's what this effect is, Sorcerer's Touch. So you see I move away from the bench, I get closer, and now I'm granted this. Now, I don't know exactly what the bonuses are. I haven't been able to determine that yet because as far as I can tell, it doesn't show up in your powers. So I'm not really entirely sure what that is, but we may be able to find out. I may actually ask Dark Fox if he can point us in the right direction on that one. I don't know. So the other interesting thing here, of course, and we talked about this last time, was this kind of little hidden space here. I just wanted to mention it again because it is really, I stumbled across it, but what it took me a while to realize is that there is a similar one at the alchemy workstation. And it wasn't until we had discovered this one, I think it was within the last 2 episodes we discovered this one, that well, no, actually, at the time I'm recording this, there are 2 additional episodes in production, so I take that back. It's going to be either in episode 7 or 8 that we stumbled across this. And we can find another one like it. So I kind of recognized the pattern there. It wasn't until I discovered the one that I recognized the other here. So just be aware. Okay, it's a storage space. So I've put some ingredients in there, and see we're getting a buff here because we're within a certain proximity of the alchemy workstation. We back up, we get alchemical brilliance removed. Okay. All right. So we discovered these cool buttons. We turned on our irrigation system, right? I mean, they're kind of, they're not easy to see. I mean, if you're not looking for them, it's very easy to walk past them and not see them. So we kind of nailed that down in recent episodes, which is very cool. And our alchemist, she is not here right now because it is not business hours. So let's get a little bit of clarification around the hirelings. So we can have up to 4 hirelings, and consequently you need to have all 4 hirelings if you want to find all the unique items and collectibles and want to completely finish the place, because there are some things that are simply dependent on having hirelings or hirelings at certain stages to complete. So the first one that you can possibly get is the Forge Master. Okay, and then from there we obtained a librarian and a conjurer, and then finally we got the alchemist. Okay, and they have certain set working hours. So there are times of the day when you might find them in other parts of the tower, click on them, and they won't be responsive, or they won't interact with you in terms of selling you anything, training you, things like that. That's because it is non-working hours. So what you need to do is kind of catch them in their workspaces during working hours, which I suppose is, maybe 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. kind of a time frame. and then they will help you out. The other thing is, in particular with the Forge Master, I have confirmed that the reason that we were not getting any options with the Forge Master is that we were already constructing the things that he's set up to construct. So because we had finished them, there was really nothing for him to do. So I think our experiences with the Forge Master were really just a combination of factors. One, that we were periodically accosting him during non-business hours, and the other was that we were Spriggan Snow Globe makes sense. The other is that that we had already constructed the thing. So just, kind of bear in mind, if you're blazing through a lot of construction projects and stuff like that, there just may be nothing left for him to do, and so he's just going to pretty much hang out. That's the deal. Okay, thank you very much to Dark Fox 127. He clued me in that the Spriggan Snow Globe was located somewhere in the garden. I confess that in my research, I had literally spent an hour searching this room and did not spot that snow globe. I was convinced that it was in this room because it makes sense that it would be in this room, but holy hell, did I look everywhere for that one. So the Spriggan Snow Globe was a real time suck for me. Let's head outside and nose around. There's some things I want to show you. All right. Okay. Last and final snow globe, ice wraith globe, right here. Okay. All snow globes found. You've collected 9 snow globes. The final snow globe can now be discovered, and once it is collected, a special summon awaits you on the altar of magic. Continue on. Okay. So this is one that I found during my research, and for some reason, I seem to find it easier using my night vision. So I don't know why.
Ogling the grotesque. I suppose I should be grateful you didn't simply attack me.
Yeah. Okay, so we got all the snow globes. We've got one left to find now. That, of course, it was contingent on us finding that last one. All right, so now what we are going to do, this is very, very cool, and it took me a lot of work to find this, so I'm kind of excited to share it with you. But it is a special collectible. It's it's a tower collectible model, and it is some work to get to it. There may be easier ways to do it than what I did, but I will show you how I did it. So here we go. Okay, we did it. Thank God I sped that up, eh? So, you know, pick a route. It doesn't really matter. I think what really counts here is persistence. There's really no easy way that I have found to get up here. But what you want to do is get yourself up here so that you can actually stand at the base of the tower, which in and of itself is very cool. And then we are going to navigate around up here to... There's this kind of a little nook in between the tower and sort of the elevator tower. And there it is. The Frost Crag Spire model. Grab that sucker. And then the other thing that I recommend doing is just... Since you're up here anyway, right? I mean, why not? Zatu the Mighty is mighty. Look at him. Okay. So, yeah, that's how you find that. And again, I mean, I found that totally by accident. I was just messing around, and I was determined to get to the base of the tower and just see what was here. And there it was, sitting there like a beautiful Easter egg. So, yeah. And so there's a special place that we get to put that tower model in the mage's quarters. So, having acquired that, let's give ourselves a good spot here. And let's take a look at our spell. Concealment, right? All right, Zatu. See what you can do. Here he goes. Oh my God. Look at that. Now our enemies, rivals, arch nemesis, they can't see our tower sticking up like a sore thumb from all over Skyrim, which is pretty cool. Doesn't conceal the entrance, but that's not really the point. The point is having the tower not stand out like a beacon, which I just think is very cool. And then, of course, we can reverse that with the revealment spell. Let's do that. Zatu is mighty. Observe. Boom. Oh. Our house is returned. Okay, we are good. And we're back. So, it's not a far distance as the crow flies, but try as I might to get up this side of the mountain, I just could not. I found it easier to go around the backside, so that's what I did. But you may find a better route. If you do, feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments. Obviously, there's many, many ways probably to ascend that. So, let's go inside. Get out of the weather. Here we are. So the model, let me get to that right there. Look at that. Gorgeous, huh? It is very cool. I mean, look at that thing. It's super cool. And it's placed in such a way that I sort of get the impression there could be another one to go next to it. I don't know for sure. I asked a question of Dark Fox about that specifically. Is there a second model I should be looking for? So far, he's been cagey, and I don't blame him. I mean, I found this one on my own. When I found it, I sent him a message on Twitter. I'm like, I found it! I found a model of the blah blah blah. I didn't even know I was looking for it, and he said, "Damn it!" So I'm guessing he may hold off on giving me any information on whether or not there's another one. That's okay. We're having a good time exploring. So, what's next? Well, we have to find the special snow globe. We have really a crap ton of Ayleid coins yet to find. What are we at? Okay, not a crap ton. A slightly moderate crap ton of coins to find. And my guess is that if I set my mind to it, we can find some, okay? So we're in treasure hunt mode at this point. So what I've discovered is that it's sort of easier for me to find Ayleid coins if I'm less obsessed with what else is going on in the room. So now that we have a lot of the construction and the clutter and all that kind of stuff taken care of, I'm thinking it might be a little bit easier to sort of look at a room like this objectively and say, okay, where would there be coins? Because since we've constructed the furniture and stuff, I feel like any coins that are in places where we've built things, for the most part, we've probably found. I think the ones that are more likely to be missing are in, just kind of out of the way places that, we haven't been stomping around for a long time. Like the tops of these, or in here, like that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I was, like looking in here, stuff like that. Wait, what did I see? Or was it this? Yeah, it's the portal. Okay. So we're going to look for some coins, and I really have no idea where this last snow globe is, and I'm particularly interested also in finding that journal. But I got to tell you, there's a couple of interesting Easter eggs, one of which I found by accident, and having found the one, it clued me in to the second, and we are going to go and look at those in a minute. Any around here? No. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty good about this room. Let's go to the library, maybe. All right, so I've just started taking kind of a methodical approach, and it's kind of going around the outside edge of the room. I know we've already picked some coins up off of these shelves, but double checking the sills. I think we have had some coins show up after construction is completed on something. So, I mean, the rooms are changing frequently. Every time we build something, every time a hireling comes in, things can change. Part of my problem in finding them. In the last few episodes, for example, we found one in a strongbox submerged underwater in a cooling trough. Here, like this. There we go. Can I click it? 4 coins. That's good. That helps. And I think that there's definitely some kind of subconscious clues too. I think some of these are set specifically in places where your eye is drawn to the spot where the thing is, either having some kind of some piece of architecture as a reference or an item as a reference. Where you'd be looking at a plate or, a book or a gem or something like that, and then your eye is drawn to that, and then the coin is nearby, that kind of thing. Okay, where are we? Okay, we did that. Lobby. Let's go to the lobby again. Okay. coins. At least for me, I feel like it just takes a certain amount of concentration. I'm an inherently impatient person, so... Oh, incidentally, I don't know if we reviewed this in the last couple episodes or not. Just a quick FYI. It is the alchemist who takes care of these potted plants, and we need to systematically send her all over the tower doing plantings, and she'll take care of this for us. So it's going to be a couple hours yet before she's working for the day, but when we get a chance, we'll go over there and visit with her and ask her to do that. So we did find some coins inside here. If you remember, there was a coin, at least one coin in there. Okay. We found some coins in this area on the shelf. Let's ditch the 2 new ones we found. Okay. Did I get him in there? Okay. So, if we look at our progress, yeah. We have everything but the secret globe. Now, I've got 2 globes that aren't showing up here because, if you remember, I did a little experiment and I dropped them in the chest of assortment to see if they would get placed in the right spot. They obviously haven't. So I think I need to go and retrieve them from miscellaneous storage and pop them in here myself. And we will do that as well. So they're probably in the mage's quarters right now then. Okay, coins. Anything on top of there? No. We've been over this area up here like crazy. I just don't think there's anything there. Okay. All right. I'm feeling like this is pretty much picked over. Now, in addition to just kind of wandering around and doing some research, I did some research also online regarding these paintings. And I think that I'm thinking that these paintings in particular, there's an issue with, just because as far as I can tell, we have found all the available paintings in the place. And what we may be experiencing here perhaps is a texture issue as opposed to something else that we haven't found yet. So I didn't want to be chasing my tail, so that's the research I've done to this point. If anything changes, we'll definitely pursue that. But at the moment, I don't think there's anything more that we can do about that. Okay, so in the forge. Remember, we found Ayleid coins in one of these water troughs. So they're in some tricky spots. And you'll find that they're in spots that you've been over before. Here, like right here. But see how they're placed? I mean, they're placed in a spot where your eye is drawn down either by the statue or the sword. The sword's practically pointing right at them. Okay, how do I get that other one, though? There it is. Okay, that's 2 more. So that's good. And remember, again, if you want to get these into your MCM menu progression count, we have to deposit our Ayleid coins in the gem box in the Mage's Quarter. Yeah, here's the strong box. So if you miss that, That's in a previous episode. We found the strong box submerged in the water here. I think there were 10 in there. Okay. I guess don't know where else to look in here, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of places, but I feel like we picked over so much of this stuff. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I mean, honestly, the coins are something that you're supposed to just kind of run into. So, alchemy lab. Okay, let's go to the dormitory. All right. Is anybody up yet? No, they're all sleeping still. Okay. So we have found some items inside their wardrobes. So he does use his bed. I wasn't sure if he used his bed at all. And his chest doesn't open. He keeps his stuff over here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Coin. Coin under his book. That's good. There's another one, huh? Oh, coins in the sink. See, now these are like almost impossible to see if you weren't specifically looking. I happen to be looking for coins right now, so maybe I'm tuned in or something. I need to get that last one. There it is. Awesome. Okay, we found 3 coins on this table. Okay, so let's look at this. Cycle shrines. Look at that. See, remember how I was commenting before? Oh, I'm sure more shrines will show up there eventually. Well, no, that's not actually how it works. We cycle through them. So you kind of just pick the one that you want to be most prominent, I guess. We're going to leave it at that. Okay, so we already looked in here. We found a snow globe in here. I can't remember which snow globe it was, but there was one that spilled out of there when the Forge Master first showed up. Okay. Nothing in there, I don't think. Okay. All right. We found a snow globe in one of these chests also. I think maybe it was the librarian's chest, actually. Strongbox, we've already emptied that out. This useless alembic thing, I don't know if there's a purpose for that or if it's just clutter. But I think it's interesting, the fact that you can actually grab it where nothing else in there you can. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, nothing in there. Nothing in there.